Right, we have a pulley problem. If you remember when we made the ground pulley, it was only about 1 inch wide, which is fine if you're pulling everything absolutely straight. But as soon as you take your mind off pulling straight, so you're ringing a method for example, then you can find that the rope pulls off to the left or right, and you end up running over the axle, which is not good because you then have to put quite a bit of force to get it back down again, and you've lost your place in your method. It's a distraction and therefore it isn't any good. I can show the problem in this bit of video, which if you look you'll see that it pulls straight, and then when you're slightly off it falls off to the left or to the right. So we need an answer to this, and the answer I think is a wider pulley. So something that's about 5 inches across, beveled edges to pull the rope back towards the centre if it does tend to wander. So what I'm going to do, or what my plan is to send a design over to my friend Simon and get him to turn a new larger pulley, which also will be then sit on a thicker shaft. The 8mm shaft that I'm using at the moment I'm finding is flexing, particularly when you're on the backstroke or when you pull the backstroke. So I'm going to change that and upgrade it to a 12mm threaded rod for it to run on, and that I don't think will then be bendable, or certainly not in the same way. If I can, I'm going to get over to Simon's and take the camera, and I can do some video of us actually making the pulley. Hopefully he won't have done it by the time I get there, but otherwise it will be the making of the pulley, the polishing of the pulley, and the drilling of the hole through the centre. So that's the plan. We can then bring the pulley back, install it into the dumbbell, and hopefully I'll have resolved my pulley problem. Right, so we saw the problem. What I've done now is I've actually whipped out to a few miles down the road to see my friend Simon, who's over there with his lathe. Of course, being really efficient, he's actually done most of the work before I got here, because I wasn't expecting to be able to see it, but I thought it was worth coming down and just showing exactly what we've got. And this is the new pulley on the lathe that he's actually machined out, and then he's smoothed and polished it, and I must say it looks absolutely tremendous. So Simon, so what were the major problems?
I think the main problems are that basically you've got a cube of wood that's 140 millimeters all the way around, and if you get a block of wood like that, it's difficult to buy pieces of wood that thick, and when you do, if I may just reach this is typically what happens with hardwood. It begins to develop splits and shakes in it, and as you turn it, of course, that's not ideal, and it certainly wouldn't make a very good pulley. I think an alternative would be to get, say, 5 planks of fairly decent pine, each one about 140 millimeters thick or something like that. No, sorry, 140 millimeters long and whatever thickness, and you could glue them together at different angles so it would form a laminate, and I would have thought you could have turned that reasonably easily. Okay,
well, it certainly looks the business, and it's been smooth. So you just sanded this down, have you?
Basically, yes. Cut it down with the variety of chisels, sanded it. I've put sanding sealer on, and then as it was running, I've used a friction wax, which I can demonstrate to you now, if you wish. Well, basically I just turn this on and we set it to a reasonable speed, and I just hold this very hard wax, which is a mixture of beeswax and Canova. I put it on like that. It has been well sealed with sanding sealer first, and then having got it to that, we just polish it. And the important thing is to hold any sanding or polishing thing underneath it rotating rather than over the top.
So it doesn't actually
snap
push
or
against
grab you. Yes. Yeah. And of course it's important you keep anything out of the way like the tool rest. And then having done that, not too fast. If you have it too fast, it very nearly takes off. adjust the speed, not too quick. We put it there. I've not gone for a really high gloss, just smooth. Basically, I hope that we can go through so far and then turn it round. So I'm just going to...
Right, so we've got the pulley now threaded onto the rod that's going to be used as an axle. We've put some bry wax on the centre threads just to remove any friction that we might have, and now a simple spin gives us a beautifully running and very, very elegant pulley. So the only thing I do now is go back, install that, we'll see how it runs. A massive thank you to my friend Simon and of course his wonderful lathe for producing this and the other pulleys for me. It's been absolutely great. All we've got to do now, as I say, is to get this on, and I think we'll have sorted the pulley problem. Right, okay, so now what we have to do is remove this old pulley and take that out with the brackets, because I think we're going to have to drill those out to take the 12mm threaded rod for the new pulley. So I'll get on with it. Okay, and you can see here that that 8mm rod just really isn't up to the job. Right, we've installed the new pulley up onto the dumbbell, and I can see just by looking through the hole that there is no way that the rope or the sally can now fall off to one side or the other. It doesn't matter whether I pull to the left or pull to the right, it will always end up coming over the roller. Even if I allow the sally to go right the way up on the backstroke, I can pull it down relatively easy and we can continue. So that's a great solution to the problem. Replacing the pulley was definitely the right answer, and in fact has solved my pulley problem.